Hi, all. Bridget Bartlett here. I am the local business marketing, training, and support specialist with Builderall. Today, I'm going to give you a crash course on video editing for beginners. If you have never edited a video in your life, this is the perfect video for you. Videos are incredibly powerful when doing your marketing, so it's really important to be able to edit your videos to make them as professional as you possibly can. So the video editor that I like to use is Screencast-O-Matic. It is very beginner friendly. It also has a screen recorder. So if you wanted a free screen recorder, you could use this one and directly import it into your editor. However, you could also use other screen recorders that are free as well, like loom.us, or you can also use Zoom, which is what I'm using right now because I can't record a video and show you the editor at the same time. So I already shot a sample video, so I'm just going to upload the editor right now. I have downloaded the editor to my computer, so it's an actual app that you can use. And to import a MP4 file, it says here you can import a .somrec file, WebM, MP4, or MOV file. So let's go ahead and import the sample video. As you can see, it's importing the video now. So once it's imported, we can just double click to edit. And you have some options here once the video is complete. You can save as a video file. You can upload to Screencast-O-Matic, which they have their own hosting system. You can upload it directly to YouTube, Vimeo, your Google Drive, or the Dropbox. So let's go ahead and click edit. And if you see here, our little cursor is at the very beginning of the video. If you click Tools, you see you have some options here. So you can cut a section of the video. I'll go ahead and run through and show you exactly how to do that. So if I wanted to cut a section of this video, all I need to do is put the cursor where I want it to be, and then I can drag to the line there. So this white line is going to be the section that you are looking at right now in the video. So if I move that white line, you see it goes to different sections of the video. And the red section is the section that I need to cut. If there was a section that I wanted to cut and I needed to get maybe on the 9-second line here, I could increase the amount of space in between each line by simply selecting these here. So you see now it would be much easier since this line here to this line is between 7 and 8 seconds. So if I wanted to cut right in the middle of that, you see I just have the ability to pick a more fine-tuned section, because there are some times that you're creating videos and maybe you say a lot, and that's a little tiny section in your video. So you really need to be able to fine-tune that. So as you click this little triangle here, if you click in the middle, you see it has a little less space. And then if you click the fine point here on your arrow, it has even less space. If you click the magnifying glass, you see it toggles so you can see the whole timeline of the video, or you can unclick that and see sections of the video. So now I have to drag that to see the end. So if we wanted to cut this section, all we need to do is drag our red line wherever we want to cut it, and then you can click play to see what your edited version would look like. You can cancel out of it if you decide you don't want to cut it after all, or you can click OK and cut the video. I don't want to cut the video because it's a really short sample video anyway. I just wanted to explain to you how you can do that. So let's go ahead and cancel. I'm going to show you some other things about the tools. The next thing that you can do is copy. So if there's a section of your video that you want to copy and paste in another section of your video, you could simply highlight that section, and the same as the cut, you would simply click play if you want to preview, cancel, or if you click OK, you can take this section here and click OK, and then you can paste it anywhere in the video. So let's go ahead and we'll see what that looks like. So now you see that section that we've cut is now pasted. If you decide that you don't like that, as soon as it's finished, you can click cancel and then it will go back. If you hit OK and you decided, really after all, I don't like that, you can simply go up here and click the back arrow. Since we haven't made any edits, it doesn't have a back arrow yet. But if I clicked OK here, it would paste that section into the video. And then I could simply click the back arrow to unpaste. So let's go back to tools. And the next section is to hide. So you can hide the cursor or the webcam. I don't have a webcam in this video. I can't show you that. I use this tool a lot. So you can add a new recording, an existing recording. You can pause, add a video, or paste a recording. So let's say I did a tutorial video and I really messed up on some part and I really wanted to do it again, but I didn't want to do the entire video again. I could simply click new recording, and then you'll see the recorder comes up here and will allow me to go ahead and record a new section, and then I can paste that into the video. So if we wanted to add an existing recording, like let's say we had an intro video that we wanted to put at the beginning or the end of our video, we could simply put the little white cursor where we wanted to insert the video, and then we could add our intro anywhere we wanted to. So if we had an intro, obviously we want it to be at the beginning of the video, or if we had another video that we wanted to add in the middle, we could do that here simply by clicking the video, and then it would add it into our video here. Let's go back to the tools. So if you had an outside video, meaning a video that's outside the editor, and you wanted to insert that in here, you could simply click video, and then you could upload the files, or you could choose any of the recent files that you've already used. You can also insert stock videos. So if you click here, it takes you to the stock library within Screencast-O-Matic, and you can add any of these videos that you want to in there. So let's go back to the editor again, and we'll X out of that. You can also paste a recording. So just like we did where we cut a recording, you could paste any of the cut recordings or any other recordings that you wanted to paste in there. You can actually narrate over a section. So if you click here, and you want to, like, let's say in the middle of your video, you're like, oh, I said that wrong, or I wish I had said it differently. You could highlight the section of the video that you wanted to narrate over, and then you could click start, and then it will actually allow you to narrate a section of the video. So let's go ahead and just try that now. We just hold down the record. I just love this bridge. It's really cool. And I love this feature because it makes my life so much easier. So you can pause and click done. And then now let's go ahead and play. I just love this bridge. It's really cool. And I love this feature because it makes my life so much easier. Okay, so I hope you guys could hear that. Now, if we decide, I really don't like that, all we need to do is click this little purple microphone here, and we can remove that. And now we're back to our original video. Go back to tools, and overlay is something that I use a lot as well. So if we wanted to add an image in here, like maybe a banner off to the side, or this is one that I use a lot, you can add an image up here. So maybe if you want to just add your website at the top, you could do that here. If you want to have it fade in, you have some options here. So you could click here. This allows you to choose the type of action that you want your image to take. So basically, do you want it to fade in, or do you want it to pop in, or no action at all? So you can click fade in and done. And then you'll see you have a little arrow here that goes up. And this one has no fade. So this would be none. So this basically just stops immediately, and this fades in. So let's go ahead and just look and see what that looks like. So let's go back before the image starts, and we'll press play. And you'll see that it just gradually fades in, and then it'll just disappear. So that's the difference between fade and no fade. To delete that image, we'll go ahead, select it, and then we can trash it here. Let's go back to the tools. We'll go to overlay. We can also select to blur a section out. So let's say you had a video that you were creating, but there was some personal information, maybe about you or a customer. You could add a blur to it and blur that section out. And you could choose here, just like we did the image overlays, we have the same options. So you can have it fade in or fade out or no fade at all, no action. You can move it by dragging the line here to determine the amount of the video that is blurred out. And again, if you wanted to delete it, you could just cancel here. Let's go back to the tools. And we could also add a shape to our videos. So if we wanted to add a square or this rounded rectangle, a triangle, circle, or a star, any of these things, we could add that image here. We also have the option to change the colors and customize it. We can have it fade in and out. We can rotate it. So if we wanted to rotate it 8 degrees or 9 degrees, we could do that here. We want to layer this. So let's say we want this shape to be behind the main video. We could just drag that here. If this was your webcam and it was sitting down in the corner, but you realized in the middle of your video, it was covering up some important information in that section of the video, you could just move it behind the main screen and then you would click done. So let's go ahead and we will cancel out of that. Head to the next overlay option. And we can add an arrow just like the images that we showed. So if I wanted to add an arrow here, so maybe I wanted to really emphasize the title of something, or I wanted to, point to something that was important, I could add an arrow here with all the same functions. You can even change the opacity of it. So if I didn't want it to be that solid, I could do this. And that's with any of these overlays. You have all the same editing options. So let's click out of that. Let's go back to the overlays. And you'll see we have a option to highlight a section. So if you wanted to do that, you could do that here, and you can just drag the lines and make it as large or small as you wanted to. Go ahead and cancel out of that. Go back to tools. You can actually add text to the video. So if you wanted to add a text box here and then type in your website, you could do that here simply by clicking in the box, just like you would any Word document. And we'll just type in, this is a text box. We will go ahead and delete that. You can also change the color of the text, the font, the size. You can highlight the text. You can change the, make it bold, italicize, underline. You can make it left justified or the center. You can also change the background. So if you didn't want any background, you could just have the text there. So lots of options here. We'll go ahead and click done, cancel. Let's go back to tools and overlay. And again, you can paste a section of the video, or you can actually add another video on top of your video. So let's go ahead and let's just choose another video. Actually, we'll just choose the same video. So now we've added an additional video here. So let's say we wanted this video to play up in the top corner here. We could actually have that video playing. We can choose the amount of the video that we want it to play, whether we want it to fade in and out, just like any of the other overlays that we have. So that's a really cool option. And they actually just added this feature just a few months ago. So that's really cool to have, especially if you have your whole webcam here and then you have a video playing in the top corner while you're talking about the product. If you have the video of the product playing in, over your shoulder, that just makes a really cool effect and a very professional video. So let's go ahead and just cancel out of that. Go back to the tools. And let's look at replace video. Replace video is simply what we talked about before, where you can select a section of the video to replace with a new recording. So if you are doing a video on a software and they've updated, so maybe you want to replace the section of the video that you have that maybe they've updated the desktop version and you wanted to just replace that one section, you could do that there. You could freeze a frame here, so you can select a section of the video to replace by freezing the video frame. You can speed up or slow down, and this is something I use a lot too. So if you select speed up, there are lots of times in videos, especially the tutorial videos that I do, where something is loading and it takes a long time, and I don't want to bore my viewer with the load time. So what I'll do is just select that section of the video, and you can just drag this along that section, and then you can make it go 2 times as fast, 3 times, all the way up to 10. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like when you speed this section up. So you'll see it just speeds it up really fast, just this section, okay? So let's go ahead and cancel out of that. Go back to tools, and same thing for slowing down. So if you wanted to slow down a section to make sure that they capture that information, you could do the slow down, and that works exactly the same way. Transition is a really cool feature. Let's go to a section of the video that we want to do a transition. And you see, as I click around here, it's hard to pinpoint that exact section between this video and the next video. So let's go ahead and we can increase the spacing here. And we can actually use our left and right arrows to move this and pinpoint the exact spot where that video changes. So let's go ahead and do that here. Okay, so right before the transition is where we want to add our transition here. So let's choose transition. And we have some options here. So if you select type, you can look at the box that pops up here, and it'll show you what type of transition it is. So we can use any of these that we like, which really adds a really cool effect. And let's go ahead and we'll just try this one. This specific transition does not have a direction, but if we chose something different, like maybe push, then you'll see we can change the direction that we're pushing the video. So if we wanted to push up, down, left, or right, we could do that here. Let's just go ahead and we'll do this transition and we'll have it pushed to the right, and I'll show you what that looks like. Now you see the little triangle here, that is the amount of space that that push is going to apply to. So if we wanted to change that and make it a larger transition, we could do that here by just moving the arrow. But let's go ahead and just choose 1 second and let's press play and see what that looks like. So you see how it pushes to the right that video to the side. We'll go ahead and play that again so you can see. So that is a really cool effect on the video. Let's go ahead and just cancel that. Go back to tools and then volume. Volume is pretty obvious. So let's say you are doing a video and you realize for some reason your voice is really loud. You could go ahead and select the volume and change that as well. Let's go ahead and cancel. You have some other options here. So you can change the size of your video. I prefer to keep it at 1920 by 1080, but if you had another reason for changing the size, again, it's important to know where you can do that. You also have the option here to import or export computer audio. I honestly have never used these options. I haven't found a reason for them, but it's important to know that you can do that. If you click here, you can actually adjust the audio of the computer. So if you want it up or down, that's important to know. You can actually select music to play in your video as well. And they have some music here that is free for you to use. You can choose that. And if you actually choose, you can press play here to preview the music, but if you want to add, you can simply click the box here and imports the audio. And then once the audio is imported, you can select the volume. And this is important to know too, because a lot of times the music will play over your voice and it'll be really distracting. So you can turn the volume of the music down or up. If you had an intro video and it had its own music and you didn't want that video music to play on top of your intro music, you could simply slide this so that the first 10 seconds of the video, the music does not play. You can also do that in the fading out section. You can normalize the sound of the video so there's no high peaks or really low peaks. You can also loop the music. So once the music stops, if it's only 20 seconds, you can have it replay over and over until the video is done. So those are some really cool options. You can also select here to highlight your cursor. So I didn't have a cursor in this video, but if I did, if I was showing, a tutorial video and I was showing my cursor a lot, if I select here, it'll actually put a yellow circle around my cursor, which is very, very helpful when people are viewing a tutorial video to be able to see where your cursor is going, because I can say, see, click here, or this says this, and just people being able to follow my cursor really helps when they're trying to follow me in a video. Here you can select the webcam. So if I had a webcam in this video, I could choose to hide it or make it visible. And I can also add captions here. And you can add the captions from a file or do speech to text, or you can just choose blank captions. But I actually just use the captions that YouTube has available when I upload my videos. So I don't really use that function. But again, it's important to know that it is an option. When you're done with your video, you can click done here. And then, like I said, you can upload it to your Google Drive. Since I use these the most, I only have those options showing, but you can choose any of these options here. So if you just wanted to save it as a file to your computer, you would simply change the file name by clicking here, and we could change it to just simply sample. We can choose a folder that we want to add our video to here. Then we would just click publish. So I have not chosen a file, so let's go ahead and we'll just choose that here. And then you would publish. And then when this is done here, it'll go all the way up to 100% and let you know your video is done. While you're waiting, you can continue in the background, and then you can do other things while you wait for your video to publish. So that is it. That is a very fast crash course in video editing. So I hope you learned something today. I hope you're ready to start editing your videos and making them incredibly professional. I want to see them all over YouTube, all over your websites. And until my next video, go build it with BuildDraw.